Hello, everyone! Cuba Gooding Jr., once the energetic and charismatic face of Hollywood, with an Academy Award in his hand and a future that seemed limitless, is now caught in a storm where things simply aren't looking good, as the scandals surrounding his personal life and legal troubles continue to break headlines and overshadow everything he once stood for. And for fans who remember him shouting, "Show me the money!" in Jerry Maguire, or giving raw emotional performances in Boys in the Hood and Men of Honor, the contrast between the man he was celebrated as and the man making news today is painful to witness. Because at one point, Cuba Gooding Jr. had the world at his feet, being praised not only for his acting skills but also for his charm, energy, and ability to light up a room. Yet in recent years, those qualities have been drowned out by repeated allegations of misconduct, with more than 24 women coming forward to accuse him of unwanted touching, inappropriate advances, and behavior that has stained his reputation and left many questioning who the real Cuba Gooding Jr. is behind the camera. And while Gooding initially fought back against these claims, denying wrongdoing and vowing to clear his name, the court proceedings, video footage, and detailed testimonies painted a far less flattering picture. And instead of being remembered as an actor who elevated every role he touched, he became another Hollywood figure entangled in the web of scandals that define the #MeToo era, where powerful men are forced to reckon with their treatment of women. And though he managed to avoid jail time by entering a guilty plea to one of the charges and reaching settlements in civil suits, the reality is that the damage to his career and legacy has already been done. Because the entertainment industry has little patience for scandal when there are endless other actors waiting for their chance, and the silence surrounding Gooding's career opportunities since the headlines broke speaks volumes, with projects drying up, major studios keeping their distance, and directors unwilling to risk the public backlash that would come with casting him. And what makes his downfall even more tragic is the fact that his career had already been slipping before these scandals erupted, as critics had long noted that after his Oscar win, Gooding began taking roles in forgettable films, direct-to-video releases, and projects far below his talent level, which left many puzzled as to why such a gifted actor wasn't able to maintain his momentum in Hollywood. And when you combine that career mismanagement with the avalanche of personal scandal, it creates a perfect storm that has left Cuba Gooding Jr. not as a symbol of triumph, but as a cautionary tale, a reminder of how quickly the climb to the top can be undone by poor decisions and personal failings. And while some of his fans argue that he deserves forgiveness, pointing to the long history of actors who have fallen and found redemption, others insist that his actions cannot be excused, especially given the number of accusers and the seriousness of the claims. And as the public wrestles with these questions, Gooding himself has remained relatively quiet, offering few words of explanation or remorse, which only fuels the perception that he has not fully taken accountability. And in an industry where image is everything, that silence speaks louder than words, because Hollywood thrives on reinvention stories, but also thrives on distancing itself from those who bring too much baggage. And at this point, Gooding finds himself in a limbo where his name is more associated with scandal than with artistry. His Oscar win a distant memory buried under the weight of court dates and tabloid stories, and the irony is not lost on anyone that a man once celebrated for portraying characters of integrity, vulnerability, and strength is now viewed through the lens of disgrace. And as these headlines continue to dominate, the real tragedy is that the story of Cuba Gooding Jr. is no longer about a gifted actor rising to the top, but about a fallen star whose choices, behavior, and scandals have left him fighting not just for a career but for his legacy. And unless he makes dramatic changes, takes responsibility, and finds a way to rebuild trust, the sad reality is that things aren't looking good for him at all. And history may remember him not as the Oscar-winning star of Jerry Maguire, but as another Hollywood cautionary tale of how quickly the shine of fame can be dimmed by scandal and self-destruction. Thanks for watching.